You may remember me from my television shows in the 1980s and 90s, and now I host a regularly live streamed virtual magic showcase featuring some of the greatest magicians in the world. Welcome to Dr. Michael's Friday Night Wizard Emporium. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us this day. We have an incredible show, whom I consider to be some of the world's greatest magicians for all of you out there. We have someone to start off our show from the UK, and it's somebody we have never seen before. I've seen her a lot on social media. I enjoy everything I've seen her do thus far. I'm very grateful to have her as our opening act. Please let's put our hands together for Raven Luck Magic.
Hi, I'm Raven. I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me, and I'm looking forward to showing you what I have to show you guys today. So, has everybody got a deck of cards handy? I know you're muted, so just raise them if you do. We're going to use a voice from the past as my assistant today. We're going to have Mr. Paul Daniels. Just let me know if you can hear this.
Hello, my name's Paul Daniels. You're going to like this. Not a lot, but you're going to like it. It's a card trick. It's called a topsy-turvy card trick because during the course of the performance, you will be turning the cards some up, some down. But to start with, I want you to take a pack of cards and deal 3 cards onto the table in a little pile from the top of the pack. Put the pack, that's all you've got to do, and deal 3 more cards on top of the 3 you've already dealt. Done that? Good. Cut them again and deal 3 more cards. In other words, you are building up a small pile of cards in front of you. Have you done that? Good. Cut the cards again and deal 2 more. Now place the rest of the cards just to one side for a minute. You'll need them later. Don't lose them. And look at the top card. In other words, the last card you dealt onto the table. Look at it, remember it, and write it down if you've got a bad memory. Because now you replace it on top of the small packet of cards that you dealt onto the table and you pick up the bulk of the pack. Place the bulk of the pack down on top of the card you've just looked at, and you'll notice that if you square up the pack, pick them up off the table, square them up. Look, your card has now disappeared into the pack. You're going to find it in a most unusual way. Whatever your card was, double the number of spots on it and deal that number of cards onto the table face down. So, if you thought of an 8 or you looked at an 8, just place 16 cards on the table, one after the other. Okay? Or if it was 7, you deal 14. I'm going to give you a little while to do that. And I hope by now that you are doing it. You should be dealing away twice as many as there were spots on your card. With the cards you have left in your hand, turn them face up and put them on the cards that are on the table. Already, you can see why it's called a topsy-turvy card trick. Pick all the pack up and holding it again for dealing. This time you've got to do something exceedingly difficult. I want you to deal 20 cards onto the table if your card was a heart or a spade. Now, if it was a club or a diamond, I want you to deal 24 cards. Yes, I know the cards are face up. Deal them anyway, one at a time. So, 20 cards for a heart or a spade, 24 cards for a club or a diamond. This will take some time, so I'm going to dance a while you do it. And if nothing else, this card trick does waste a lovely amount of time in an evening when television's boring. Now you'll still have some cards left in your hand when you've dealt the 24 for the club or the diamond, or the 20 for the heart or the spade. So turn those cards the other way up as you put them down. In other words, if you've been dealing some face up, you'll obviously be now placing them some face down. But the cards are very mixed up. All you do is turn them over in your hand, place them on those on the table. Now the cards are really mixed up. So you've got to deal them again. Again, you pick them up from the table, Deal 13 cards for a red card. 13 cards for a red card. And if your card was a black card, deal 18 cards. It's confusing, isn't it? Yes, but it was things like this that kept me out of the army. Having done all that, remember, 13 cards for a red card, 18 cards for a black card, turn the remainder of the pack over again and place them on the dealt cards. Now, your card must be lost in the pack. For me to find your card, I want you to deal one card from the top of the pack for each letter of my name.
I'm going to take over the rest of the trick now. Thank you, Paul. I'd like you to deal one card down, face down on the table to spell out my Raven luck. So I'll do it with you. MYRAVENLUCK. Now, if you look at the card that you just dealt, it should be your card that you started the trick with. Thank you.
Wonderful. Yay. That was wonderful, Raven Luck Magic. I love how you've combined the voice of the great magician, the great British magician Paul Daniels, with your live dealings, so to speak. Wonderful. How original is that? Very, very cool. Now, was
Thank
it
you.
my imagination, or did I see something? It was either today or yesterday on your socials about Mystify and some Magic Magazine article of some sort. Did you want to share with us what that was all about?
So I recently went to Las Vegas to perform some magic, and I was on a generational panel for all females in magic, and the Magic Circle cut photos and wrote an article about me to put in the magazine.
Wonderful. We're going to have to try to find that and what an accomplishment. Another great accomplishment is I believe you're a member of the Magic Circle. Is
Yeah,
that correct? Oh,
yeah.
wonderful. So, so cool. And the more I watch you on Instagram, the more I'm entertained because you seem to add some sort of extra entertainment factor to your presentations, which is quite marvelous. Let's say folks want to book you for a specific event or events. How can they reach you?
Um, I have an email and a website, and I am on Instagram posting quite a lot. So if they DM me, I can see the messages, and then I could just send them over where to find me.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us this day. And I believe you're coming on my other show. Whoops. My other show, Magical People Live. I believe you're going to be interviewed some not too far in the distance in the future as well. So we'll look forward to that. Once again, let's put our hands together from the UK. I'm going to call you great now for the great Raven Luck Magic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. There we go. I'm looking forward as well to introducing you all to someone who's no stranger to open mic magic, seen every Wednesday on Facebook. Look it up. And I every time I see him do an effect, I'm entertained. I was going to say amused. We are not amused. No, I'm often mystified by his work and entertained, of course, as well. Let's please put our hands together from the great US of A, who is also celebrating the 4th of July or Independence Day. Let's put our hands together for the great Franklin Williams.
Everyone. I really, really enjoyed that piece that Raven Luck just did. That was fantastic. And I see some of my other friends here who are going to be performing as well. And I'm always very inspired by my friends in magic with how creative they are and how many ideas they have. And I came up with a way to actually store my ideas. It's right here, this little tube right here. You see, whenever I have an idea, I like to put it in there. Now, ideas sometimes they start out a little bit not quite fully formed. They're a little bit squishy, you might say. So I leave them in my little idea box or tube, as I say, and I keep letting them sit there for a while. But then eventually I have another idea. And I continue this process, which is all about creativity. Sometimes I'll be sitting there thinking, and right on my beard will come an idea. You know, this is just how ideas happen. Ideas just work this way. But you may notice that there's probably more ideas in here than can fit inside of this idea box. Well, that's the magic part. Sometimes I'll walk around in my magic library and look around and I'll see a book and I'll go, I haven't read that one in a while. Maybe, maybe there's an idea in there. And there is. Now, eventually, these ideas, they start to solidify a bit to the point where they actually can become a solid ball, right? Like so. Very solid, little ball. And I would bounce this, but you guys wouldn't be able to hear it because Zoom has a filter on it. And often I'll carry that idea around with me for a while. I'll typically keep it in my pocket just to keep thinking about it a bit. But ideas and creativity are not meant to be carried around just in your pockets. They're meant to be shared. Because if you're truly wanting to do something magical and creative, you're going to want to light other people's paths along the way. And that
Wonderful.
is a little idea for all of you. Thank you.
It was a bright idea as well, Franklin. Let's put our hands together for the great Franklin Williams, everybody. We'll chat briefly as well, Franklin. I love, and I'm saying this not just to be nice, but really, I think, I'm sincere when I say this. I'm always entertained with your magic because there's a lot of non-magicians watching on Facebook and probably in-house here as well. I won't give specifics away in any way, shape, or form, but I have to say you always technically lend a little twist that only magicians might be aware of, and I just love that. I truly do. So it's entertaining to both, yes, lay persons, regular people. I won't say the word muggles, but certainly everybody, as well as magicians on a whole other level. What I want to ask you, and what just comes to mind as well, and I should have mentioned this before we went to air. The question that I intend to ask most people this day is hmm, can you remember something that happened magic wise to change your life in the area of magic and or performance?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The thing that really changed my magic for the better was the first time I ever saw Eugene Berger perform and do his marvelous thread routine. That had a serious impact on me, and it really changed my life magically. It showed me that you can do magic that's a little bit different and a little bit deeper. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that there truly is the real magic in this lifetime as well. No wonder they call him the master or called him the master. I suppose even though he's gone, he's never forgotten and therefore still around. I won't be getting into this right now, but I did message you that I loved something you said in a newsletter recently. We'll discuss it when you come on my other show on Magical People Live, because it's so important for people to be aware of, particularly younger magicians. And so we'll be speaking more on that. I want you guys to remember and watch for Franklin when he comes on Magical People Live, because it's very important as magicians, we often forget the very real place that younger magicians have at the table, if you will. That's all I'm going to say for now. So, Franklin, how can people reach you if they want to book you or just make contact with you?
well, the best way to get a hold of me is on Instagram, and my Instagram handle is Frank Mystery. So, Frank, as in, can I be frank with you? And I always will be. And then Mystery, Frank Mystery. That's the best way to get a hold of me. Message me there. And you can also find me
Excellent.
on Facebook.
You're all over the place. I see that. So you're not very difficult to contact, thank goodness. Let's put our hands together for the great Franklin Williams. Thank you so much for joining us this day from the great US of A. Thank you, Franklin.
Thank you for having me.
And there we go. We're going to switch things up a little bit and have a video of someone who is no stranger to Open Mic Magic Theater every Wednesdays on Facebook. Perhaps you'll want to look that up. And we always
Okay.
enjoy him when he graces us with his videos and or live performances. Let's put our hands together from the UK, Peter John.
Hello. Hello, everyone. In the past, I've shown you several paddle tricks. Those are some of the paddle tricks I've shown you before. For today, I have a different one. This is my traffic light paddle trick. Red, amber, green. Red is for stop. Amber, prepare to stop. Green, all clear, go. And so we take off the red, the amber, and the green, starting with the red. You can see that. Strange thing is, you give it a little shake, it jumps from there to here. On that side it's still there. And there we go. Now we'll try the yellow. You've got the yellow one. Give it a lot of shakes and it jumps in the middle to the end and back again. Now we'll do that with the green. Nothing. However, if they're all together, then give it a shake. And they join together at the end. Thank you.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Peter John, whom I'm pretty sure is in our audience, our
Yes, I'm
virtual
here.
audience, because I hear him. And
Hello.
there he is, the great Peter John. How are you this day, Peter John?
I'm very well indeed, thank you. We're still in a bit
You
of
kn-
a heat wave in England, so it's very
oh,
hot.
I've heard about that, and it's even it's covered parts of other
Europe. Mm.
nations as well. I have to comment on your recent appearance on Open Mic Magic Theater. I believe it was last Wednesday, because You did, for me anyway, you did something very, very interesting involving various pistols.
Yeah.
And I loved watching that on so many levels, the mechanics of it, how each one is different, how the history of each one it has its own history as well, besides the obvious usage of them. So, and you incorporated that into a magic effect. So I just wanted to share that with you very briefly that I did enjoy that. And I'm
Thank you.
partial to Lugers, if anybody
Oh,
has
are you?
heard. I just like the shape, and when I was growing up watching detective shows in the early '60s, many spies and many people on those shows had Lugers, and I just loved the shape of it. I never did have a toy when I had other toy pistols, but nonetheless. Now you were showing
Yeah.
what appeared to me briefly as the pom-pom sticks.
Ah,
Is that my
going back to your
imagination?
no, your Luger, the man from Uncle. You may recall my introduction was there a lot of older films, James Bond, and those were pistols from the films, which people are quite interested. You were asking, did something inspire us way back towards what we were doing in magic? In England, there was a magician called Louis Histard. Now I'm going back now to the 50s and the 60s when I was a teenager. And on the stage in a theatre in London, he did several tricks, but one which he invented, I believe, he claimed to invent, and he made. I went backstage to chat to him, and he gave me permission to make it. So this is my one.
Ah.
It's over 50 years old, and now you can buy them from the dealers with big furry pom-poms. And am I allowed to do a trick to show you? It has a
It's
long one
beautiful.
at this end, and the theory was I liked tricks, not card tricks, but were self-working, but were totally look scientific. I mean, if it's running through there, how is it that it can run along and down here? But once it's got to that side, how is it that it's running at this side? Okay, I'll cut the things short. It's quite a long story, but occasionally, on a good day, you get a long one at both ends. And the answer is, with one of our friends from Ireland, there's a little fairy called a leprechaun. And a little miniature leprechaun's running up and down inside, pulling them. But leprechauns are invisible, so you can't see them. And it's invisible. So there you are.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. And what a nice difference from the pom-poms to have the red spheres, which are very visible as well. Let's say folks want to contact you for shows or just because, how can they reach you?
Well, I have an internet, and my name is, you can see above or below, peterjohn.co.uk.
Excellent.
www.peterjohn.co.uk.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure
Thank
and
you.
an honor when you join us either on this show or Open Mic Magic Theater every Wednesday. Thank you so much. Let's put our hands together for the great Peter John. Thank you.
It's a great honor to be on your show. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. There we go. So from the UK back to North America, back to the US specifically. This is a person I always enjoy her. She's funny, whether she realizes it or not. You're very witty and very funny and very mystifying as well, and very entertaining. That goes without saying, but I think I just said it. Let's please put our hands together for the great, and I mean that, the great magical Ms. Charlie. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that breathtaking introduction. I'm lost for words. Thank you. I appreciate it. Um, I tried to arrange in a volunteer earlier, and I lost the name. It's like when you force a card and you can't remember what you forced. Who is my lovely volunteer?
That'd be me, Michaela.
Yay! Hi, Michaela. Hello, hello. So, um, ultimately for this moment in our time together, I'll need you at the end to be able to pull up Google and do a internet search. Are you able to do that?
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to find the meaning of life, the meaning of the universe, the meaning to everything. So what I have here are some very old business cards of mine, but you don't want that side. We want this side. I have 20 of them, numbers 1 through 20. I'm only going to need 16 of these. So name a number between 1 and 4, and we'll start our thing there.
All right. 3.
3. Okay, so we will start with number 3. This is going to be, I've got an idea. Hang on. I didn't think about this. I wasn't prepared. All right. My notes from before. Put that there. I think we'll be able to see better. Yes. All right. I'm going to make a grid on my pad here. All right. We've got 1, 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, and 3. So, okay, so we're going to start with 3. That was your chosen number. So we'll have 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and finally 18. I'll hold that up to my camera, so hopefully everybody can see that the numbers are there.
Yeah.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. Out of any of these numbers, choose one of them.
Okay.
Well, I need to know the number to continue with this
All right.
with this trick.
8.
8. All right, we will take a different color Sharpie, and we will circle 8. Now, what I'm going to do to eliminate some of these numbers, you chose 8. So in the row and column, I'm just going to X out the ones that we're not using. And that gets rid of the 7, 9, and 10, and the 4, the 12, and the 16. Didn't realize my light casts so much shadow. That's a little better. Okay, so now out of the remaining numbers, choose another.
11.
11 over here. So we'll have 11, and that'll get rid of 13 and 14, and then 15 and 3, leaving us with 17, 18, 5, and 6.
18.
We're going to go with 18. I probably should have made it smaller. All right, so which would also get rid of 6, leaving us with 5. So our remaining numbers are 5, 8, 11, and 18.
Yes.
Do you agree? Yes? Okay, fantastic. Yes. And now I need you to add those 4 numbers together. You can pull up a calculator if you're like me and can't add fast enough. And I should probably be talking during this to make the time go a little faster, because obviously I'm not the only slow one with math.
No, I'm very slow too.
Yay, slow math people stick together.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So you're adding 5 plus 8 plus 11 plus 18.
8 plus 18 plus 8.
8. 42.
42.
42.
42. Okay, very interesting that we came to this based on your starting number. Now comes the time to pull up Google. As I said before, we were looking for the answer to life, the universe, and everything. And that's what I would like you to type into Google. The answer to life, the universe, You can put a comma in if you'd like, and everything, and then send that on its way.
$42.
Are you able to show that to the screen or to the camera for the screen to see? So all of our other lovely participants can see that. The answer to life, the universe, and everything is 42. And I thank you for helping me find the answer to life, the universe, and everything. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
very much. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you.
I love that. How awesome is that? Um, you went in a completely different direction. I was expecting you were going to do something with the magic square, which as some
Yeah.
magicians know about. And it's like, whoa, what's going on here? She's just zigged and zagged, and which is also a Robert Harbin amazing illusion. No, she zigged and zagged, and where is she going? And yes, mystified us again,
Thank you.
Charlie. Thank you. Let's say, oh, I'm going to ask you the question because we do have a few seconds.
Ask the
Um,
question.
the question, I'm going to pop the question, not the question.
Just
Um,
a question.
let's spontaneously look up a question on Google. No, I'm
Ah,
joshing. In your whole magic career, the span of it, if you will, what event, one event, changed everything for you? What was so big that it changed either your outlook or how you performed or something?
oh wow, that's a deep question because there's been a number of times in my life. I mean, watching magic either live or television or even just messing around with some magician friends, where you realize um, one of the things you can realize is, oh, that move from this perspective looks better than it does from the performer's perspective. That really does. I'll just use the word sell. And the same is true for mirror practice or rewatching a video. You realize, okay, I never thought it worked, but lo and behold, it does. Another time is when a magician is again kind of like what I how you described what I did today. You're heading down one way, and then they take you on a curve that you were not anticipating. Even as a magician, you're not expecting it, and that's the big twist in a like a murder mystery plot. You're not really expecting it. It's seeing those moments come to life for me that make me or made it become more real. Because in as my childhood in the late 70s, early 80s, there was a lot of, I'll just say, flashy magic. It was spectacular, it was wonderful, but it was flashy. And as we moved through time, there began to have a little more meaning and a little more foundations to why we're doing whatever we're doing. And it was in that realm of seeing things and being emotionally stimulated that changed my whole view on magic and how to perform it and what to look for and what to bring an audience emotionally to.
I love it. I love it. And by the
Thank
way,
you.
it is color as well that changed my perception of magic somewhat. And of course, like many, I've come back full circle to less props.
Mm.
However, I love color still, and relish magicians that bring color into the fray. How can folks reach you if they want to book you, Magical Miss Charlie?
Well, I'm on most of the socials. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, of course. The best thing is probably just check out my link tree, which is linktr.ee/magical Miss Charlie. And Charlie is spelled Ley.
That's right. Ley for you folks taking notes out there. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough, Charlie, for adding your light and color and humor and mystical slant to our show. Thank you once again. We'll look forward to seeing you hopefully back if you're available in a couple of months once again. Let's put our hands
Yes.
together for the magical Miss Charlie. Thank you.
I thank you so much, Dr. Michael, and I would be love to return. Thank you.
Thank you. Yay. Alrighty. I don't believe how quickly we're nipping along, if that is truly a word. We're changing things up back to video, back from one of my favorite entertainers from the UK. I love you guys, all of you, but nonetheless, here's another favorite of ours. He's our mate. He is John the Great.
We need some audience participation for this, okay? We need some audience participation, okay? And as we see, we've got some traffic lights here. Well, these bars are the same colour as the traffic lights. What does the red traffic light mean? Stop. Okay, so that's stop. Shouldn't be rolling around that we said stop. And what does the yellow traffic light mean? Slow down, that's correct. Okay. And last but not least, what does the green traffic light mean? Go. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to put these balls back in the tube and then we're going to do some magic. Is that okay? I said, is that okay? Right, so we'll put the green go traffic light in first. We'll put the yellow slow down traffic light in third. And then last but not least, we'll put the red stop traffic light. And then the very important magic words, which you've got to remember throughout this show. 1, 2, 3, bing, bang, boom. Let's say it together. 1, 2, 3, bing, bang, boom. Okay, and now the red traffic light is at the bottom. The green traffic light is in the middle, and the yellow traffic light is at the top, and that's magic.
Yay, John the Great truly is great. And we're thankful that he allows us to show his videos on this show. We've come to the point in our little show where it's myself and my partner in magic, Cheryl, or Lady Chameleon, as she refers to herself as. We are Strange Gambits. Let's clap for Cheryl, and her assistant, Miss Mick, is there as well. Yay. Thank you
Oh,
guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here this day. I know it's a wonderful Independence Day in the States, the 4th of July. Nonetheless, here we all are, and I'm excited about this effect because it involves Edgar Allan Poe. Yes, we used the whole month of June as Poe month, and it kind of seeped a little bit into the beginning of July. But I promise you guys, this will be the last Poe effect for a little bit anyway. So I want to share with all of you first what I've put together, and they are various cards depicting things of relevance and having to do with Edgar Allan Poe. There should be 5 of them. There's Poe himself. There is his cottage, I believe, in the Bronx that was visited by Holly. The Pit and the Pendulum, somewhat of an original illustration. The Telltale Heart, the art itself from the Telltale Heart, and of course the Raven as well. I'm going to shuffle these up, and I believe that Lady C has a prediction envelope of sorts. Is that correct?
I do.
There it is.
Nothing in.
Yay. There is a prediction in that envelope.
I'm
None of us
putting it
at
in
this.
now.
Oh, perfect. So we can all witness that, we can all see that. I'd like to call on Holly, if I may, since it is Poe related, and she is our local Poe aficionado. If she is in our audience, that would be great. for us to have her. I'm going to continue to shuffle up these pulled cards. Oh, there we are. Hello, Holly. How are you this day?
Excellent, thank you.
Awesome. Enjoying the hot weather I see. I'm assuming it's still
I
hot.
am. It's not as hot. I wish it was hotter actually, but it's
Ah,
nice.
the same here. We had about 90-degree temperatures in the last couple of days. It's cooled off somewhat out on the West Coast. Some people call this the wet coast because it rains a lot. It seems 80% of the time. However, we're going to move this down a wee bit because, again, I want to share with you the various images, the pit and the pendulum, the raven, Poe himself, Telltale Heart. I had fun looking up pictures of hearts and things. And this is, believe it or not, the black and white version of, I believe it was a photo you posted, or perhaps it was Carmen, of the
Yeah,
cottage
it was
that you visited. Excellent.
awesome.
So I am going to mix this up. So not only you, but myself as well, we have no idea what is whom and where and everything like that there. So I'm going to deal them out. And I want to emphasize to everybody at home that we have prearranged nothing. Is that correct,
That's
Holly?
correct.
And the same
Yep.
thing with Lady C. We have some idea between Lady C and I what's going to happen, but would be impossible for her and I to predict the outcome. Or would it? So I'm going to ask you, Holly, we're going to just spontaneously call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one would you like? One, two, three,
Two.
four. Pardon me?
Two.
Two. So that would
Yes.
be this one here. That would be number two. We'll place all the other ones aside. We do not need these. Now, you have no idea which one you selected. Cheryl might have some idea. I'm not even sure. So, let's see. I want to emphasize to everybody as well. Yep, I can see it, but you guys have no clue what it is. It could have been the Raven for all you know. But and I believe I've not given anything away, or have I? See the ambiguity there. I love that. So I'd like you, Lady C, if you will, to share with everybody your prediction.
Okay, okay. I'll open up this.
It
Tell me
is
when to take
very
it.
well sealed, I might add,
Yes,
as well.
yes.
In fact, you might say it's
Oh,
a sticky situation we've gotten ourselves into. I
when that happens, we make little cards and it's a big envelope.
love
Deep
it.
envelope.
I love it. But as you can plainly see, it's in there all right.
You want me to show it now?
Oh, sure.
Okay, Mr.
It's
Poe.
Poe himself. And let's see if this matches what you spontaneously and arbitrarily picked.
Ah, it did. Awesome. Great.
It
Thank you.
worked. It worked. I'm so
Poe always
glad.
on the brain.
Thank you
Awesome.
so much, Holly, for your assistance. And of
Thank
course,
you.
Lady C and Miss Mick as well. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yay. And we'll see you Wednesday, Lady C, and maybe even Holly, actually tomorrow. If you guys all show to watch where is it? Whoops. Magical People Live tomorrow, featuring the great Paul Abbey, a magician and martial artist as well, martial arts teacher. Wow, I don't believe that it's time for our next great guest on video no less. I love her. I believe she's also in studio, and once the video is finished, perhaps she'll agree to speak with us. Let's put our hands together for Robina the Enchantress. I love that. Let's put our hands together for Robina the Enchantress. And you are here in studio and visiting, and there's hubby in the background and visiting from Germany. It's a whole party here. Um, Robina, I think you might remember I was speaking a little bit earlier about how I love color. I think everybody loves color, really. How can you not? And I was almost thinking of calling you the Queen of Color, but that wouldn't be indicative of your true nature, which is the Enchantress. I love that routine. I love most of your routines when I get a chance to see them on Open Mic Magic Theater every Wednesday on Facebook. And I'm going to ask you that same question that I've been asking many entertainers this evening is there an incident, a happenstance, something that occurred in your life in the world of magic that has changed everything for you in regards to magic?
I would say there are two things that have been very instrumental in launching my path that I'm currently on. One, I was doing magic, playing with magic, doing things, but also I had part of my life as a sign language interpreter. And I interpreted a show for Jeff McBride and company at one point. And it was so inspiring that even before the show, they get everybody together, all the stage people, all the stage crew, all the performers, everybody together. And it's like we hold hands, take a deep breath, and it's like this is going to go beautifully. We just do a moment of positivity. And that for me was just this is what I want to do as a performer. And then the other thing that I hate to say it, it sounds odd, but the pandemic has been very good for my magic. Finding the open mic magic and Tuesday night magic theater and these shows, these have been wonderful for me. And I just kept hanging around on the Tuesday night and the open mic, and I just kept hanging around, and they never could get rid of me. And coming up with something new every week was just inspiring. And I love like seeing that, which I know was a couple of years ago, and thinking, oh, I know how I can make that much better than I did then. And just I can just see and visualize. And the strength of my magic has grown so much being with these wonderful shows that I have been so honored to be part of them,
Well,
including
we're truly honored to have you. I won't speak for Kevin or Tommy and the others. I'm sure they love you and appreciate you as well. But I know I'm grateful that you've
yeah.
decided to allow me to show your videos. And in turn, I'm grateful that you and Kevin have me every week as one of the entertainers on Open Mic Magic Theater. Look it up on
Wonderful,
Facebook.
wonderful. Yeah.
So yes, I'm so grateful. I do want to do a shout out to David, your hubby, who's an incredibly gifted magician in his own right and very, very funny. And I want him to speak up all the way from Germany. I hope we see you on the Wednesday. Who are you?
Me, I'm Rolf. I'm from Germany. I'm usually illustrating themes about information security with a little magic to make that more interesting for people.
Absolutely. And you've come on my show. I believe my interview show Magical People Live. Sure, I'm pointing the right way and it doesn't show up. Magical People Live. So we were very grateful for that. And hopefully we'll have you on this show in the future if you're available as well. Rabina, how can people contact you? She's vanished. No, I know she's probably going to get her sign. How can people contact you
I
if
have this
they wish to
wonderful
book
little
you?
sign.
Oh, I
You got
love
to,
it. That is so perfect. Rabina
there you go.
Magic,
RobinaMagic.com.
rabinamagic.com.
Yeah. And
Wonderful.
also it has the links for these shows. It has the links for the Wednesday show, the Open Mic Magic show, and also has the links for um, uh, Access Network, which is a OTT, over the top television network that we have, that also has a program called Magic Moments. And most of us have performed. And if you haven't given me a video of yourself to put on Magic Moments, shame on you. You better do it.
I'm probably guilty of not having given you a video. It for some reason slips my mind, but I will. I promise you that I will. If I would be honored enough by you to have you put one up.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Thank you so much for joining us again live this day. Robina, the Enchantress, will look forward to seeing what you have to offer in just a few days on the Wednesday Open Mic Magic Theater. Thank you so much, and we'll see you all. Let's put our heads together for Robina, the
Thank you.
Enchantress.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yay. I always look forward to what she has to offer in the world of magic. Wow, I don't believe where we are right now. This fellow is so versatile because he's not just a magician, he's a mentalist, he's a bizarrist, he's a mystery entertainer. He's always been an author, but he's got a brand new book out, which we'll chat about in a little while. He's got a very special show on online July 20th, as a matter of fact, which we'll chat as well about. But for now, let's enjoy one of New York's foremost mentalists, the great Tommy Burnett.
Wow. Hopefully I can live up to that. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate being here again. It's always a pleasure to be on your show, no matter which one it is. So there is an ancient legend whispered in corners and best left in the shadow. A tale of the messenger of death, an entity that does not speak, does not touch, and does not falter. It is said that when your time is nearly at the end, the messenger sends a warning. Not a knock, not a letter, not even a word. Only an image, a black spot. It may appear on the back of the hand, on the palm, the curve of your neck, on your heart, or even in the mirror. Somewhere, somehow, the mark will find you. And when it does, there is no bargaining, no hiding, and no running. The spot is not the cause of death. It is the promise of it, a sign that something has already been set in motion. And tonight, one of you will be marked. Let's find out who this will be. Let me see who I see out there. I love so. I don't know if I can do this with him, but Raven Luck, do you mind helping me out? All the way from the UK. Hello,
That's
Raven.
fine.
How are
Hello.
you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. So you can see in front of me, I have 6 skulls. One of them has a big black spot somewhere hidden from your view. I also have a piece of paper. This is not a letter. But I'd like to make this as easy for you as possible. So the idea is that we're going to try and eliminate the spot. And I don't want you to die. At least I don't want you to die now, because that would be horrible for the show. But I'm going to split these into two groups. Group A and Group B. And this is a total choice for you. I'm not doing like equivocate. Whatever you choose, that's going to be the one that we'll get rid of. So would you like me to get rid of Group A or Group B?
Group A.
Group A. Now, before I take them away, I will give you 3 seconds to change your mind. 2, 1. Okay, so Group A. Oh, I'm sorry. Group A goes away. There are no spots on these, so they go out of the picture. So now we have 3 skulls left, and your chances are not looking good. I tried to help you, but you still have a chance. So there's 1, 2, 3. If you were going to pick one up, which one would you pick up?
3.
3. Okay. So we'll get rid of 3 as well. I can grab number 3 on the floor. So at this point, I ask you to put both your hands out and put your hand down on just one of these 2. So I'll pretend my hands are yours. This is my left hand. This is my right hand. Which one do you want me to place down?
Left.
Left. So that one goes away as well. And we're left with 1. Unfortunately for you, this has a big black spot, and it appears that the black spot has followed you anyway. Too bad. Thank you for playing. It's just for fun. You're not going to die, but at least not tonight. And thank you for helping me out. And now back to Dr. Michael.
And you, Tommy, and you. Everybody, let's applaud for Tommy. I love when you incorporate, well, when it's arcane. Arcane magic or bizarre magic is visually my favorite mystery form of entertainment. I truly love that. You've got the trappings behind you and your outfit and the skulls, which are gone now, and the parchment paper at the end. Ah, there we go. That's Herbie. I don't know why, heretofore referred to as Herbie, not Yorick, but Herbie. I don't know why. So I'm excited. Very good. We're playing the 3 shell game now with little skulls. Wow. There's an idea. I'm always excited when you come on the show and when you come on Open Mic Magic Theater every Wednesday on Facebook because I never know what you're going to do. And that's part of the fun as well as an entertainer and a spectator as well. I have to say, I love just about everything I've ever seen you do, Tommy, but I'm partial to mentalism and bizarre magic, etc. But I love as well the themes that you add. And I won't ask you how you come up with them because that's a cliche question, but I will ask you the question that I've been asking everybody tonight, and then we'll speak about other things as well, is was there an incident, something specific in the world of magic that changed your life or your attitude pertaining to magic?
Very good question. Yes. Um, when I probably in the 1980s. Oh my God, I was alive back in the 1980s. I know. um, barely, barely. I found out about my mentor, Captain Nipper. Um, I found one of his manuscripts, and I'll be honest, I didn't buy it. I didn't think it would work. It was too simple, and in my mind, it was too simple. And so I kind of put it on my shelf and didn't take a look at it for probably about 5 years. And then I read it a little more carefully, and I actually tried what he wrote, and it worked. It was amazing. It was up until that point, it was the best thing I had ever done. So yeah, I owe my current master career mostly to him. And if you can ever get anything written by him, I know you have, please do, because I mean, yeah, I wrote a book too, and please get my book as well. But
There we go. Awesome segue. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was gonna say, and speaking of books,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I could talk about Kenton for hours and hours and hours. Just being in the same room with him. If you've ever been in the same room with him, it's magical. It really is. But anyway, yes, I wrote a book too, and it was called Beneath the Surface. And it was fine print, a professional guide to mentalism, meaning, and the moments that last. And I'll be upfront. There's very few effects in here. There are some, and there are, in my opinion, good. But this is more of a book if you want to know how to be a better performer, the principles behind mentalism, why they work, and why you need to know them to be a good mentalist. And by the way, this isn't only for mentalism, it's everything in here is true for magic as well. And dare I say, they're good for life itself. Like
absolutely.
It will help you in life.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that to sound profound. A lot of these have helped me in my life, so I know
Absolutely.
I'm not unique. So.
I have to say, you go into such great depth, and this is a tome of certainly 300, maybe 400 pages. And I dare say, if a student or wherever you are in your life in the world of magic or mentalism or bizarre magic, etc., or mystery entertainment, if you master even just one thing in that book, you'll be far ahead of the game. Not that there's a race or anything, but it is truly, if I might say, about personal growth. It won't just help your presentation or your outlook or the way you speak to others or folks from the audience, etc. But it truly is, and I hope you agree with me on this. If not, oh well, that it's growth from the inside out. And that is so evident in your words in that beautiful tone. And thank you so much for, I was going to say for volunteering. I kind of said, Tommy, you're coming on. I believe it's the end of this month, the end of July, on Magical People Live to talk more in depth
I
about
know
it.
you really mean what you said, but you already endorsed the book on the back, so you don't have to be nice.
You know, I truly mean that. It's,
So
and I'm going to embarrass you further, okay?
Please.
When one opens up that book, it's like all of a sudden you're met with this whole world, this energy, which feels infinite. It feels like, whoa, I've gone to another level and will continue to grow on a number of levels. It's so cool. So I
Okay.
believe it's available in soft cover as well as hardcover, paperback and hardcover, correct?
I I have a soft cover over there, but I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
it's
get.
okay. How
If
can people pick it up?
uh yes, before I say that, I just want to say I got a wonderful comment from one of my customers who said that um, he's been using this as like a meditation guide, and he'll flip open to a page, and then he'll find something that he's working on or has been thinking about. Like in this case, um, multi-phase routines and blocking cues. Um, you know, but a lot of this is philosophy and principles. Color. You mentioned color and emotion. You know, color and emotion go really,
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely. It's a thing in advertising. It's a thing subliminally. It's on so many levels as well. I don't believe how amazing well, of course, I do believe how amazing that book is, but it's almost like an oracle deck of cards, right? Where you crack it or the tarot for those who may be familiar, where you crack it open for the message of the day. It
Right.
probably works like that as well.
Sure. Yeah. Um, so you want to know where to get it? Here's my contact. And actually,
Yes.
one is not quite right because I forgot to change it. But um, if you want to contact me, my website is TommyVanette.com. If you want to buy the book, it's not themagictaboo.com, it's magictaboo.com. That's my mistake. I meant to fix that, but I
It's
forgot.
all good. It's all good. Magictaboo.com. And you have, I'm certainly looking forward to this. On July 20th, I will be spending my birthday with Tommy Burnett, which sounds really weird, but you have there it is. And thank you for bringing that up because now I'll be able to remember the title. I keep confusing it with the book title Beneath the Surface. This is Breaking the Veil. And what time does it start July 20th?
Yeah, good question. Somebody, yeah, anyway, yeah, 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time.
So 1
Nine,
p.m. West Coast time, 4 p.m. New York time, if you will, and
nine,
UK time is 9 p.m. as well, much like all our shows as well. How can people get tickets for this? I'm going to call it a once in a lifetime show because honestly, we don't know when you're going to do another one like this,
yeah,
truly. So
and
how can people get tickets?
we don't know when I'm going to die either, so. No,
Missed it by that much.
yeah. I love it. So, um, my dad was on it. So my
Yes.
biological father had a part in it. So, um, so what did that say? Yeah. Uh, yeah. Wow. The fine print.
I know it's too tiny. It'll appear larger at the bottom when I put it through post.
This is right.
I
Um,
keep forgetting. I keep forgetting there's no lenses there.
I think it says, yeah, it better say ticketsource.us/Tommy Burnett Productions.
Awesome, awesome. So go there. The tickets are only $15 US, and which is $1 million in Canadian funds, or maybe it's the other way around, but something like that. And we'll look forward to seeing you at that show. We'll look forward to seeing you on the Wednesday night Open Mic Magic Theater on Facebook. And I can't thank you enough for agreeing to come on my show. Truly, it is an honor. And I love you, Tommy. We'll see you soon. There we go. And I feel I'm so blessed to be a part of all these folks. I really do, with Kevin Peel, who's coming up, and Tommy Burnett and Ravina and everyone involved in Open Mic Magic Theater and this show as well. And the other show, boom, there it is, Magical People Live, who get involved with it. Very, very grateful for you guys, and very grateful for the next. And wow, I don't believe it's our last entertainer of the evening. Um, Kevin Peel is amazing. Kevin Peel is just a plain good guy. When I approached him to run tech for this show, and I must admit I wasn't expecting him to say yes, because he's got many things on the go. He appears on that Australian show from Down Under on Mondays, which we might mention later at the atrocious time. I'm kidding, guys. And of course, you run Open Mic Magic Theater with Ravina. You have so much on the go. I didn't expect him to say yes, but he said yes. And I was moved. I might be embarrassing myself at this time to say that, but over a year and a half ago or so, I believe it was December or January, I wanted to do something like this to share with everybody. And he agreed. He said, "Oh, sure. How much are you going to pay me, Michael?" And I said, "What?" So let's put our hands together for the great Lord. He's a Lord, Kevin Peel.
Thanks, Michael. Yeah, my hand, it really hurt when you was twisting my hand behind my back. Right, I've got a couple of little routines to do. The first one was going to be just a really simple trick. And then Tommy started doing this thing with skulls, and something weird happened. And the trick is now named Damn You, Tommy Burnett. Well, so I don't know where that came from. It wasn't there at the beginning of the show. Well, I hate you, Tommy.
Doesn't have a smack, you're okay.
Right, so this is just a silly little routine just to get things started. And it basically, I have a whole pile of nines and an odd card here, a Queen of Hearts, and the rest of the nines. So if what I'm going to do is just sort of put the cards down, half of the nines face up, and half of the nines face down. And then we should eventually find, right, there's our Queen of Hearts, which somehow she's managed to infiltrate the nines. So if we, but the odd thing with Queen of Hearts is, though, that if you put her in between nines and give them a little shake, she just vanishes. I don't know why, but if you reverse time like that, she's back where she came from. Now, don't ask me what's going on there. It's just really weird. The other weird thing with the Queen of Hearts is that if you wave her over these nines here, they sort of all then become Queen of Hearts. And if you take a 9 and a Queen of Hearts, and another 9, yeah, and a Queen of Hearts, and another 9, and a Queen of Hearts, and another 9 and a Queen of Hearts. And this time, so shaking once, you turned over a 1 Queen of Hearts. If you shake 1, 2, 3, 4, what happens is you turn over all 4 Queen of Hearts. But the other weird thing with these Queen of Hearts is if you take the remaining 9s and wave them over the queens, what happens is you suddenly end up with all the queens. So goodness knows what's going on there, but that trick is now called Damn You Tommy Burnett.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so let's find the young lady who I always end Open My Magic Theatre helping me. So let's find Holly and do that. Hello, Holly.
Hi, Kevin. You called me young. I love you.
Well, you're damn sight younger than me, Holly. Right, okay, Holly. With magic effects, the magicians never tell you how it's going to end. You know, that's the whole idea. But this trick, this effect, that is the end. It's just going to be sitting there all the time. And we will just grab this pack of cards. And what do I always do when I grab a pack of cards, Holly? You probably know by now. I get rid of the jokers. There we go. Okay. Holly, this effect works really better if you're here with me, but because you're not, I'm going to have to do some bits for you. What I would ask you to do would be to cut the cards several times, just to rotate the order of them. So if I just go like this and you just say stop, and we'll cut wherever you say stop there. Okay. And do you want to do it again? Let's do it a couple of times. So we got to
Stop.
Stop there. And we'll do once more.
Okay.
Make it somewhere near the top or somewhere near the bottom, which you kept going near the middle. So let's just make it more interesting. Okay.
Okay. Stop.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Time for this horrible little device. Holly, the card on top is the card we've cut to for you, which we'll use. If you want, we can cut again, make it a different card, or do you want to stick with that one?
I will stick with the card we have.
We'll stick with the card we have. Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to put this over my fly and hold there, and hopefully take the top card off. That's only taken one card, haven't I?
Yeah, just one. It looks like it's just one.
Okay, and if I do that, you can see what the card is? Yeah?
Yes, I got it. Yep.
Okay, and remember what the card is, and I'm going to put it down, hopefully, away from the rest of the cards. That's face down, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay, Holly. One more job for you. Again, if you're here, I'd ask you to do this physically, but because you're not, again, I'm just going to spread the cards like that, and then I want you to slide this card in round about halfway down the pack. So if I just keep going down, from somewhere around about halfway down, just say stop.
Stop.
Stop there? Okay, so that is there. Now I can put it there precisely where I think you stop, or if we can go a couple either way, or
go to from where you stopped.
2 further, okay?
Yeah.
1, 2.
Yeah.
Okay, and put it there. Okay, so random card, random position somewhere in the middle, and we get to the end of the trick. And this will tell us exactly the card that you selected, which has been sitting there all the time. And it is the 2 of 7s.
No.
Two of 7s. The L of 2s. The could it mean actually what it says 27? Should we just deal off 27 cards? Okay.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what's the 27th card? Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 4, 25, 26, 27. So what was your card, Holly?
It was the King of Hearts. Ah, awesome. Very good. Thank you.
Lovely.
That was good.
You're damn good, Holly. Thank you. Hello, Michael.
Hi, wonderful, Kevin. I love, without giving anything away, I love your handling of wild card. And or is it that Tommy Burnett effect? I'm not sure.
It's damn you, Tommy Burnett, from now on.
We'll refer to it heretofore as that. I'm going to ask you the same question that I've asked most of our entertainers this evening, and that is, first of all, if there was, a certain incident, a certain acknowledgement, something, what potentially changed your life in the world of magic?
Well, this is really interesting, and it pertains to something Raven was doing earlier on, which is weird that you should ask that question when Raven does a Paul Daniels voice over on her effect. So, back when I was young, I I wasn't doing magic at the time. I started magic quite young, then I got back into magic later on. But I was doing DJing, and I was working in a cabaret bar in Brighton doing the sound and light. And we used to have all sorts of acts who were on the circuit, and some of them were for people that had, been big stars in the day, and they were now just on the club circuit. And some of them were up and coming people who no one had heard of yet, apart from on the club circuit. And we used to get this magician in a couple of times a year, and his name was Paul Daniels. And nobody knew of him. He was well known up north in the Northern Working Men's Clubs, but down in the south where I was, he came in, he did this thing with sticking people on chairs, and they jumped up, and just his electric chair routine, which he became famous for. And it was, and every time he came on, he'd do this, and then the staff would go up to the people afterwards and say, "What do they do? What the hell does he do?" And they wouldn't say a word. And then after he'd performed and we cleared the clubs, he'd then come and talk to everybody and do some close-up magic and stuff for the staff. And so that really sparked my interest back into magic. And on the final time he came to our club, again, we had our little gathering at the end, and he said, this is the last time I'll be on this circuit. He said, I'm just going to do this little magic show on TV. I think it might do quite well.
Wow. Wow. How many years did that show last? It was
well, it wasn't the Paul Daniels magic show he was talking about then. It was a thing called the Wheel Tappers and Shunters Club, which was a TV show on one of the commercial channels, which was a variety show. And he came on as the magician. And that pushed him into the limelight. And then the BBC picked him up for the Paul Daniels show after that.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've enjoyed his show.
Yeah.
I want to say in my youth, but I was a little bit older than that. But I did love watching his show and being inspired by him, and watching him today on YouTube as well. There was something about him and his lovely wife as well. How can people get in touch with you, Kevin, if they want to book you for a show?
In assorted different ways, but the easiest way, Facebook, look up the UK Mentalist, or my name, Kevin Peel, or my website, theukmentalist.co.uk.
Wonderful, and we'll look forward to Open Mic Magic Theater this Wednesday with your
on Wednesday.
host. Yeah, Robina.
And you mentioned it. you mentioned it earlier, the No Name Trivia Show, which is
Yes.
every Monday, which for us in the UK is at a sensible time, which is 11 a.m. But for you poor folks in the US, it's silly o'clock, 3 or 4 a.m. depending where you are.
Absolutely.
And it's a great fun show because it's not per se a magic show. It's an interview show and a trivia show, but the trivia doesn't make any sense anyway, and it's just for fun. And
It's
the points
great
don't mean
fun.
anything anyway either. So it's a great laugh. So if you're in the room tonight and you haven't watched the No Name Trivia Show, as Dr. Michael was, actually use your catchphrase, Dr. Michael. What should they do? Look it up on
Look it up
Facebook.
on Facebook. Ah, you beat me to it. You beat me to it. It's
Yeah.
well worth it. It's great fun. I was a guest some months ago as well. Even if you're not a trivia buff, it doesn't matter. It's still
Yeah.
fun. And yes, we'll look forward to watching it again, even at silly o'clock. It's
And
worth it.
coming up this Monday, and silly me, I didn't write his name down, but it's there was a UK TV show which was very, very popular called Sharp, which was about the Napoleonic Wars, and one of the main characters from that is the guest this coming Monday.
Oh, wow.
So he has
Wow.
all sorts of interesting people on the guest, and unfortunately they have to put up with about 5 minutes of me doing magic as well. But you can't have everything.
It's a must-see somehow, regardless. Kevin Peel, thank you so much for
Thank you,
joining
Dr.
us,
Michael.
and we'll
Been a
see you
pleasure.
soon. Thank you. We'll see you Wednesday. Yay! Open Mic Magic Theater on Wednesday on Facebook. Look it up. You won't be sorry. It looks like we've come to the end of our show. Speaking of sorry, and our rundown was the amazing and beautiful Raven Luck Magic, Franklin Williams, the magical Miss Charlie, Peter John, Strange Gambits, John the Great, Robina the Enchantress, Tommy Burnett, and last but certainly not least, Kevin Peel. Oh, we've got some of our faces right there. Wow. I can't thank you guys enough, our special guests for there's Tommy, like he was caught off guard. Oh, I've got to straighten my tie. Oh, wait, it's my beard. And and Rabina's there as well. Thank you guys. You're the best. And I'm sure we'll get together again really, really soon, if not on open mic, then one of my shows as well. There's Rabina. And thank you all. I think we've done all of our business, and we do this for you. We don't do it for anybody else. We do it for you. We don't take any money for it. We don't want money for it, and I'm not sure people would pay for it. No, I'm just joshing. But we'll look forward to seeing you the first Friday of every month at 1 p.m. West Coast time, 4 p.m. New York time, and of course, 9 p.m. UK time. It live streams, but you can also get your special Zoom seat as well, also free of charge. Thank you all once again. We'll see you all really soon. Take care.
Good night.